made it. Only 0.4 miles. Because I can't go that far.
Before it started going steeper up the mountain.
Yeah, I can't go up the mountain. It's actually pretty downhill though. I'm impressed we did that. Welcome, welcome. Happy Hunger Games. At least that's what it feels like. Heading into the spring equinox and Aries season, which is today as I am filming this video. So, hi, hello. I know it's been probably at least a month since I've posted a video, and I honestly don't have an excuse. I don't have an apology. It's just I didn't feel like filming, and that's that. But I felt like filming today, so I figured I would go ahead and give an update, because a lot, like a life update, because a lot has happened in that month. You just saw the footage from a trip that my husband and I took in early March. It was kind of like our baby moon slash honeymoon, just because I am nearing the 3rd trimester and you're not really supposed to travel by plane in the 3rd trimester. So right now I'm 23 weeks pregnant, and I did have my like high risk ultrasound, because I believe they do that at around the 20-week mark, and baby girl is super healthy, and she's quite large. Her head is measuring in the 95th percentile, and her arms and legs I think are in like the 65th percentile. So she's a big girl. So I did have to go in and do the glucose testing for gestational diabetes. Good news there, I passed with flying colors, so I don't have gestational diabetes. It's just she's a big baby. I wonder if you can hear that. Okay, he's out. So that's our other news. Let's see if the camera will focus on him. So that little furry friend right there is Flapjack. If you follow me on Instagram, you may remember or you may not remember that we had a bit of an incident with one of our cats, who's kind of like an indoor slash outdoor cat, who found a little den or like a nest of bunnies, and he chased them and had one like in his mouth. And so luckily my husband got that rabbit out of his mouth, and we didn't know what was gonna happen with him. So we got him a cage. We tried to like make him comfortable and all of that. We didn't know if there was any internal damage or anything like that. Unfortunately, that rabbit didn't make it. It was like within the first 24, I think he lasted like 24 hours, but it was shortly after that. He just didn't make it. So we had bought a cage and like the whole 9 yards for him. We were like, okay, you know, pet rabbit. And then he didn't make it. So that was really sad, but we figured since we already had the cage and everything, why not go to the shelter? You know, because we need more animals. What with 4 dogs and 3 cats, now we also have a rabbit. Yeah, he's 6 months old, and we got him from the shelter. He is as sweet as can be. Oh, what's up here? He's very curious. Sorry, I'm like out of breath because I wasn't chasing him, but like he's so fast. What's over there? What is that? What's that? What else has been going on? We've been doing some spring cleaning, and I don't know if I ever showed you guys the status of the room, our master bedroom, after we had the floors put in. So because we had wood flooring put in, we had all the carpet ripped out at the same time that the wood flooring was going into the nursery. So I know I have a before shot of our master bedroom with the carpet and with the new furniture that we got delivered and everything. We have like a whole new master bedroom furniture set. So I'll put that up on the screen so you can see the before and then the after with the flooring. So I'm loving the way it looks. It's just very bright and airy and clean. It's like the clean girl aesthetic, you know what I mean? So I'm really enjoying the whole vibe of the master bedroom. And then we are making progress on the nursery. So we have the dresser being delivered tomorrow actually. The floor is down and it's been cleaned, like mopped and swept and vacuumed and all of that. And then we had the rug delivered, so that's been put down so it can kind of like flatten itself out. And then I've started kind of putting together closet, like the organizational piece of that and what that's gonna look like. What else has been going on? Well, I guess I can talk about writing and kind of like the projects that I've been working on. So I actually do have, which is so exciting because I just got it I think last week, but I do have the finalized cover for the 5th book in the Shadow Crown series, which is Arcane Haven. I don't have a release date yet, so, but I can't wait to share this cover because it's beautiful. It's so perfect. So I'm gonna do a little reveal. I guess we'll go ahead and just do that right now because why not? So if you are on my email list, you already got a sneak peek at the cover of Arcane Haven, but for those of you who are not on it, I will go ahead and leave it here on the screen. So this is the cover for the 5th book in the Shadow Crown series, Arcane Haven. And honestly, it is so beautiful. It is stunning. It's probably one of my favorite covers. I love all the covers, but this one, I think it's something about the purple because I'm just really partial to the color purple. It's my favorite color. So the fact that the background of this one, and it's such a magical book because it's taking place inside a school for a Lucier, essentially. So it's kind of fun because it gives me, as I've been writing it, it's been giving me Hogwarts vibes a little bit, but also not really, if that makes sense. But just the fact that they're in a school setting, a magical school setting, has been super, super fun to write. I'm prepping for spring and getting organized and decluttering and spring cleaning, not only the physical space, but also just my schedule, my habits, my routine, all of that. It's like the perfect time because we just got out of spring break and I feel like, there he goes. I feel like there was no routine over spring break. And as much as I like just being able to wake up and go with the flow of the day, I realized I started to miss a routine and miss that feeling of being productive. So I'm excited to jump back into that. So without further ado, here's some B-roll. step 4 of my spring refresh process, I am focusing on refreshing my writing schedule. So ideally, I would love to be able to write every single day, but between the schedule with the kids and also just being pregnant and hormones and being exhausted and all of that, you know, starting to enter my 3rd trimester and whatnot, writing every day probably isn't feasible, but I am going to aim for Monday through Friday, and I would like to have 2 sessions a day. So I kind of went through Arcane Haven and realized that I wanted to add 4 more chapters for each of the characters. So there are 5 points of view throughout Arcane Haven, so that's 20 chapters. And I figured I could probably write 2 chapters a day if I really sat down and focused. So I'm blocking out time in my calendar to write from 10 to 12. So I'll write 1 chapter from 10 to 12. And these times vary. It just kind of depends on what's going on in the morning, if I needed to take a nap after dropping the kids off at school, or if I'm like awake and have a lot of energy. So the times will vary, but I'd like to block out 4 hours a day, if possible. It may only be 2 hours a day to have multiple writing sessions. So from 10 to 12, I want to write 1 chapter, and then from 3 to 5, I want to write another chapter. So, and that's going to be Monday through Friday. And so in doing that, if I need to write 20 chapters, 2 chapters a day, 5 days a week, that comes out to 10 chapters a week. And then if I write another 10 chapters the next week, then that will be done. It'll only take 2 weeks to do it, which is pretty perfect because that lands us right in the first week of April. And that's when I really wanted to start getting into the editing of Arcane Haven. I do have another project that I've been working on, a writing project that I haven't talked about too much. So that one's still kind of just, I'm doing my own thing. I have my own schedule going on with that one, and that's been going well, but I wanted to really put my focus on Arcane Haven. So that's my proposed schedule, and I'm gonna show myself grace, give myself some leeway, right? Just because of the season of life that I'm currently in. But that is the goal. I hope to have the first full, I don't want to say the first draft because this book has been through so many drafts already, but the full draft that I'm ready to sit down and edit, I want to have that completed for Arcane Haven by the first week of April so that I can sit down and do the edits. And my goal for the month of April is to fully edit that book. And that's probably gonna take us into May as well. But I really wanna get through as much of it as possible in April. And if you're curious, I'm still using the same methods in the past in order to actually sit down and write. It's really just using alarms in my phone or having the little reminders pop up on Google Calendar to remind me to sit down and write. And also just making sure I'm planning out my day the night before, so that way I'm just more organized and I'm more productive and I'm not just kind of like running around chaotically trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next, right? So I've been doing this lately where I have like it's a to-do list essentially, but I don't have as much pressure around my to-do list as I used to. It's more of an organizational thing for my brain so that I remember what it is I need to do next and what order makes the most sense to do things in. So that way I'm not just running all over the house or running out to, you know, go do an errand and then come back and realize I have to go out again. So planning my days out the night before is actually quite essential to my productivity and being able to write every single day, or at least in this case, Monday through Friday. I actually implemented the schedule on Sunday because I was just feeling the Aries new moon and Aries season and the spring equinox. So I was like, I'm gonna implement this on Sunday. And so far I have written 3 days in a row, not necessarily at these times, but I have been keeping up with the habit, which makes me really happy because I know 3 days doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot for me. So I'm just gonna keep going. I have plans to write today, plans to write tomorrow. So, you know, we're good. I'm doing really well with it so far. And I'm motivated now because I'm almost halfway through, if you think about it, I'm almost halfway through writing those chapters already. So that's really good motivation for me to keep going. And then step 5 in my spring refresh process is to nail down my March through May goals. And you may be watching this thinking, but it's the end of March. And I know that, but there's still a week left. Like, there's still a lot that can be done in this final week of March. And this ties into what I was just talking about in step 4. My only goal for the month of March is to finish writing those additional Arcane Haven chapters. That's my only goal, that's my only focus, and the reason for that is because I don't want to get sidetracked. I don't want to give myself more than I can handle, and that is really the one goal that I want to achieve this month. So that's what I'm sticking with for March. In April, again, tying back to step 4, I want to edit Arcane Haven, and then as far as like a personal goal, I guess you could say, I want to finish the nursery. So I want to get as much of the nursery done as possible, because again, I just hear all these things on TikTok and just from other people's personal experiences that the 3rd trimester can be a little rough just because your functionality is much more limited. I'm already having a difficult time leaning over to tie my shoes, to buckle my seatbelt. I get winded when I go up and down the stairs. Making the bed is like an Olympic sport. So I'm already at that point right now, and I can only imagine, and I'm not even in the 3rd trimester yet, I can only imagine what that's going to be like. So I'm really hoping that in April I can finish the nursery, which, I mean, the floors are down, the rug's there, the dresser's there. So really it's just a few more pieces of furniture, but also just the nesting process, right? So just getting all the clothes and organizing them and the diapers and the wipes and all that kind of stuff. So that's the goal for April. And then in the month of May, which also happens to be the month that my birthday is in, I will be working on another book project, as well as just figuring out if I need to finish up the edits for Arcane Haven and whatnot. So I do have some book projects that I'll be working on in May. But really, I want May to be kind of a celebratory month, especially after, you know, taking the time to actually celebrate the accomplishment of finishing Arcane Haven, or getting it to a point where I feel really good about it and could potentially have a release date for it. And then along with those book projects, I am wanting to plan out the summer. So that includes things like family visits and my baby shower, which I believe is going to be the 1st week of May. So my sister and my mom are all gung-ho on planning the baby shower. And I think it's gonna be kind of like a joint birthday, since my birthday is May 4th, a joint birthday baby shower event. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then the other thing I would like to do before it gets too hot, which I don't even know if this is going to be possible. I feel like I'm going to be relying on my husband a lot for this, but just to organize the garage. We started organizing it back in the fall winter time frame. And I still just have like some boxes in there from when I moved into this house. And I would just like to get that piece of it organized, figure out what else needs to go to storage. And like I said, it's not in terrible shape. It's a lot better than it was. Our second garage that's gonna be a work in progress. that one's a little bit messier, but yeah, hopefully we can do some kind of garage organization again before the heat really kicks in. So that is going to conclude today's vlog. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and click that thumbs up button, as well as that subscribe button. And I don't know when my next vlog is going to be. I'm just kind of filming when I feel like it, when I have the energy. I really believe that the things that we do, it's all about the energy that you bring to what you're doing. And so I'm not gonna force myself to film or really to do anything if I don't feel like doing it. That is the vibe, that is the mood of 2023. But happy Aries season, happy start to a brand new astrological year. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.